It is impossible to say the words or read the words November 11th without thinking automatically of what we call here in Canada Remembrance Day and in America Veterans Day. The armistice or truce with Germany in the First World War occurred at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, and ever since in Canada and the USA and many countries around the world, millions of people stopped their daily pursuits to think for a moment or an hour or two about the men and women who lost their lives in the wars and conflicts ever since around the globe. The sad truth is that we human beings, have never not been at war somewhere. In Canada, veterans sell cloth poppies that we wear on our jackets and coats. The symbol brings immediately to mind the painfully beautiful poem In Flanders Fields by John McCrae, who was both an artillery commander and a doctor serving in the Canadian forces in Ypres, Belgium, during the Great War. In her magnificent book about the American Civil War, called This Republic of Suffering, Drew Gilpin Faust, who is still the president of Harvard, says in plain English, quote, "The first duty of a soldier is to die." In addition to the millions who've died and continue to die today, soldiers and civilians alike, in conflicts, it seems that at every patch and every patch of ground available, there are many millions who have suffered and today suffer what we can only call collateral damage. It's a cute little phrase, isn't it? I think of a dear friend and mentor of mine who entered World War II at the age of 18 and emerged both a thief and a drunk. He was lucky and tough, and he pulled himself out of this particular hellhole, became a wonderful father, husband, and a great contributor to his community. What about the many millions of fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, wives, children of those who were buried many miles away, or whose remains were never found, or who came back in a box? What about the pain and disruption to their lives? Here in Canada, we live in one of the most peaceful and violence-free countries in the world. America has survived several wars and the nightmare we now know simply as 9/11. Our peace is a kind of shared illusion. War seems ever present in the human psyche and worse in the human playground. Perhaps you think that those moments of quiet on this day, November 11th, are an annoying distraction from the terribly important affairs of the day and a needless tribute to days long past. You couldn't be more wrong. Henry Miller, the great American novelist, called one of his books of essays, "Remember to Remember." I was so struck by this phrase that I had it engraved on the back of a gold watch. Pickle. It is November 11th. Pause. Think about what has been and what may yet come.